We'll do it out here."
Oh, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do anything anywhere ever again. She started to step back into the safety of her apartment.
"You remember that night in Vegas?"
he asked. His question stopped her cold. She would never forget the Harper corporate party at the Bellagio 3 months ago, along with the singers, dancers, jugglers, and acrobats who had entertained the 500-strong crowd of Harper Transportation's high-end clients. There was a flamboyant Elvis impersonator who'd coaxed her and Zach from the dance floor to participate in a mock wedding. At the time, it had seemed funny, in keeping with the light-hearted mood of the party. Of course, her sense of humor had been aided that night by several cranberry martinis. In hindsight, the event simply felt humiliating.
"The paper we signed?" Zach continued in the face of her silence.
"I don't know what you're talking about," she lied to him. In fact, she'd come across their mock wedding license just this morning. It was tucked into the lone slim photo album that lived in her bottom dresser drawer beneath several pairs of blue jeans. It was stupid to have kept the souvenir, but the glow from her evening on Zach's arm had taken a few days to fade away. And at the time she'd put the marriage license away, those happy minutes on the dance floor had seemed somehow magical. It was a ridiculous fantasy. The man had destroyed her life the very next week. Now he drew a bracing breath.
"It's valid."
She frowned at him. Valid for what?
"Marriage."
Kaitlin didn't respond. Was Zach actually suggesting they'd signed a real marriage license? "Is this a joke?" she asked.
"Am I laughing?"
He wasn't. But then he rarely laughed. He rarely joked either. That night, she'd later learned, was quite the anomaly for him. A cold feeling invaded her stomach.
"We're married, Kaitlin,"
he told her, steel eyes unflinching. They were not married. It had been a lark. They'd been play acting up there on the stage.
"Elvis was licensed by the state of Nevada," said Zach.
"We were drunk," Kaitlin countered, refusing to believe such a preposterous claim.
"He filed a certificate."
"How do you know that?" Her brain was revving into overdrive, calculating the possibilities and the potential consequences.
"Because my lawyers tell me so."
He gave a meaningful glance past her shoulder into the apartment.
"Can I please come in?"
She thought about her mystery novels covering the couch, the entertainment magazines that were sitting out on the coffee table, the credit card and bank statements in piles beside them, revealing her shopping habits for the past month. She remembered the telltale, half-eaten package of Sugar Bob's donuts sitting out on the counter. And, of course, there was the box of sexy underwear on full display in the afternoon sunshine. But if he was telling the truth, it wasn't something she could ignore. She gritted her teeth and ordered herself to forget about his opinion. Who cared if he found out she had a weakness for Sugar Bobs? In a matter of days, he'd be out of her life. She'd leave everything she'd ever known, start all over in another city, maybe Chicago or Los Angeles. Her throat involuntarily tightened at the thought, and her tears threatened to freshen. Kaitlin hated being uprooted. She'd started over so many times already, leaving security and normalcy behind as she moved from one childhood foster home to another. She'd been in this small apartment since she started college, and it was the only place that had ever felt remotely like home.
"Kaitlin?"
he prompted. She swallowed to clear the thick emotions from her throat. "Sure," she told him with grim determination, stepping aside. "Come on in." As she shut the door, Zach took in the disarray of